You know that feeling. The moment right before a leap. The city skyline is still, your fingers hover over the keys. Your PC hums with quiet anticipation. This is it. This is Spider-Man 2 on PC. Finally, after all the waiting, after all the hoping, it's here. But let's pause a second. Because what if this isn't the triumphant swing we imagined? What if the thread holding it all together is just a little too thin? See, Sony has a reputation. They take their time bringing games to PC. And when they do, there's this moment, this breath, where the community wonders, is it worth it? Did they nail it? Or is it another missed shot in mid-air? At first glance, it feels promising. The graphics sparkle, the menus load fast, and most importantly, you're not forced to log into PlayStation Network anymore. That alone feels like a small revolution. But beneath that slick exterior, something wobbles. We ran into a few glitches, small things, but annoying enough to pull us out of the moment. Like a bad swing that lands just shy of the ledge. And sure, there's already a patch. Yes, it's early days. But the question lingers, like a shadow behind the spandex. Is this port really ready, or are we still beta testing with our wallets? Now here's the twist. If you're the kind of player who wants to unleash every ounce of power from your machine, if you've got an RTX 4090 and you're ready to feel what max settings can do, then this port, when it works, will blow your mind. But if you're expecting smooth skies right out of the gate, well, let's just say you might want to hang back in the alley a little longer, because in the world of Spider-Man, even the cleanest web can fray. And in the world of PC ports, one bad thread can unravel the whole swing. So the question stands, is this the Spider-Man experience PC players truly deserve? Or just a spectacular illusion waiting to fall apart? There's a moment, quiet still, when you load into Spider-Man 2 on a 49.9 ultra-wide monitor, and the city doesn't just surround you, it swallows you. Streets don't just stretch, they expand like cinematic wings. Reflections ripple across glass towers in your peripheral. The horizon, it doesn't end, it pulls you in. This isn't a game, it's a window. And that's where the PC version begins to show off. Because while console players are boxed into traditional frames, here on PC you're painting on a wider canvas. Every chase, every swing, every sky-high view. It's immersive on a whole new level, like watching a blockbuster from inside the lens. Then there's the DualSense support. Not a gimmick, not a checkbox, but an experience. Plug it in and the city doesn't just come alive, it presses back. The tension in the triggers mimics the pull of a web. The haptics vibrate with subtle cues. A train passing below, a rooftop landing, the jolt of combat. It's not overdone, it's refined. It's Sony Polish, but now in your hands, on your terms. And the PlayStation login? Optional. Finally, you're free to swing without corporate chains. But if you want to log in, there's a reason. Trophies, costumes, and a few nice-to-haves await. Not forced, but offered. For once, it feels like Sony is inviting us in, instead of locking the door behind DRM. In a game about freedom of movement, that freedom extends beyond the screen. And when a Saichai, game opens up both the world and the way you interact with it. That's not just next-gen, that's a power move. First thing we did, we broke the limits. Every setting, maxed, every slider, pushed, full ray tracing. DLSS on quality, frame generation cranked. We weren't here to test the game. We were here to challenge it, to tame it, to see what Spider-Man would really do when nothing held it back. And at first, it was glorious. You're not just swinging through New York anymore. You're gliding through a living, breathing digital masterpiece. The city is dense, layered, almost too sharp. Textures pop like real-world surfaces. Glass reflects like memory. Light dances across puddles and car hoods in a way that feels intimate. This is not just good graphics. This is visual storytelling. On our RTX 4090, the game soared, 80 to 120 frames per second. Smooth, confident, effortless. You blink, and Spider-Man is halfway across the skyline. Every corner of Manhattan, every alley, every rooftop, crisp. Like you could reach out, touch a brick, and feel the heat of the sun baking it. Sure, we saw a few quirks. A shimmer here, a flicker there, ray tracing doing its strange little dance. Nothing new, nothing jarring. It all added to the personality, the unpredictability of digital light. And then, the silence. Out of nowhere, the game froze. Then, crashed once. Then again. Then again. Not dramatic explosions, no visual errors, just a sudden collapse. Like the city gave up on holding itself together. Our system wasn't overheating. The CPU wasn't bottlenecked. The GPU wasn't even sweating. It just happened. Maybe it's a driver issue, maybe it's a bug. Maybe it's just Spider-Man's way of reminding us. Even heroes fall. Tuning the settings down helped for a bit. But the trust? It wavered. Because when you're in that zone, fully immersed, and the screen just dies, it's more than a crash. It's a betrayal. We still believe this will be patched. We've seen Nixes turn ports around before, but until then, this version is a paradox. When it works, it's a miracle. When it breaks, it hurts. So let's do something wild. Let's forget about ray tracing, ultra-wide monitors, and frame rate charts for just a minute. And look at the game beneath the polish. Strip away the tech. What's left? A sequel that plays it safe. Spider-Man 2 doesn't try to rewrite the formula. It doesn't leap into the unknown. Instead, it tightens what already worked. Adds a layer here, smooths a corner there. And honestly, that's not a bad thing. You still get the spectacle, the soaring, cinematic moments, the seamless transitions between story and action. The blockbuster pacing Insomniac has perfected. It's slick, it's stylish, it hits hard. But if you're looking for a full reinvention, a next-level leap in gameplay mechanics, you're not getting that here. Side content is where the cracks begin to show. Some missions are fantastic, like the Mysterio arc that turns side quests into something weirdly rewarding. Others feel like filler. Collectibles like Spider-Bots feel more like chores than discoveries. And those stealth sections? Mostly gone. Thank you, Insomniac. The ones that remain are improved. Slightly more interactive, slightly less frustrating. But they're still not the reason you pick up the controller. It's a game of contrasts. If highs and that again? Still, for anyone who skipped the PS5 version, this is your chance to experience a superhero story that's cinematic and satisfying. Just don't expect a brand new story under the mask. This is Spider-Man as we know him, just shinier, smoother, and a little more grown up. Sometimes sticking to the formula is the safest swing. You'd think that by now we've seen it all. Every way to swing, punch, dodge, and zip. But Spider-Man 2 still has a few new tricks tucked in the suit. First up, the web wings. They're sleek, they're fast, and in a city that's now double the size, they make sense. You catch the wind, skim above traffic, thread between buildings. It's exhilarating. And yet, there's something bittersweet about them. Because with every glide, you might miss the beauty of a classic swing. That raw tension in the web line, the perfectly timed arc. The wings are practical, sure, but they don't hit with the same rhythm, the same soul. Then there's combat. It's layered, dense, and unapologetically complex. You've got gadgets, finishers, special powers, mid-air dodges, web zip attacks, and now a parry system. That's right, timed counters are in, and they change everything. It adds challenge. It adds depth. But it also adds pressure. For seasoned players, it's a welcome shake-up. Boss fights feel more tense, more deliberate. For newcomers or casual fans, it might feel like juggling 6 limbs with one hand tied behind your back. But let's talk dual protagonists, Peter and Miles. 2 Spider-Men, 1 game, and it works. They share the same fundamentals, but each brings unique flavor. Pete's gadgets feel precise and tactical, while Miles' bioelectric powers offer punchy, crowd-clearing energy. The switch between them is smooth, seamless, like flipping between tracks in the same symphony. And when they're on screen together, there's heart, there's chemistry, there's this sense that this is what evolution looks like. Complexity? Yeah, overwhelming, sometimes. But at its core, this is a game that wants you to feel Spider-Man, and not just play him, and most of the time, it absolutely succeeds. So, where does that leave us? With a question, should you dive into Spider-Man 2 on PC right now, or hang back in the shadows a little longer? Let's be real. When it runs, this game is breathtaking. A visual showcase, a masterclass in open world fluidity. You've got ray tracing painting reflections in real time, ultra-wide views stretching the skyline into art, and DualSense haptics making every rooftop landing feel like thunder under your fingertips, on paper, and often on screen. It's the most immersive Spider-Man has ever been, but that brilliance comes with baggage. The crashes, they're real, they're disruptive, they shatter the flow, especially when you're in that magic moment. Halfway through a boss fight or caught mid-swing above a neon-lit Times Square. So here's our take. If you've got a beastly rig and the patience of a web-slinging monk, swing in now. Tinker, explore, back up your saves and savor the highs. But if you're looking for a clean, unshakable ride from start to finish, you might want to wait. A few patches could mean the difference between a minor heartbreak and a legendary experience. Either way, one thing's for sure. This is the closest you'll get to feeling like Spider-Man on PC. And once it's polished, it might just become the definitive way to experience one of PlayStation's greatest heroes. Your move, Spidey fan. So now you've seen what's behind the mask. The beauty, the glitches, the dream, and the drop. Spider-Man 2 on PC is a paradox. When it shines, it's nearly perfect. When it stumbles, it pulls you out of the magic in a heartbeat. But maybe that's what makes it human, like Peter, like Miles. It struggles, it adapts, it grows. And maybe that's the story we needed. Not one of flawless performance, but of potential. If you felt something watching this, curiosity, nostalgia, maybe even frustration, share it. Tell us in the comments, because you're not just a viewer, you're part of the story now. Hit like, subscribe, and remember, we do this for the love of games and the power they hold to move us, crash or not. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next swing.